Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney. Now, this is the fight that everybody wants to see on this card. This is a really good card, a lot of talent on it, but this is only booked as the co-main, yet it's the one that everyone's looking forward to. Not the fight that everyone's going to see last, just the fight that everybody wants to see the most. And this one is a true 50-50 in a lot of ways. I know a lot of people are out there and being very opinionated on what they want to see, but when you look at this fight and you start to break it all down, I really think that you can make a strong argument either way. On the one hand, you got Devin Haney, the consummate boxer. We've watched him for years in the way that he's worked that jab. He's tall, he's long, knows how to fight well from the outside, very quick hands, very quick feet, very high boxing IQ. There's nothing in there that he can't do for the most part. I mean, he's not a rough and tough, tumble inside fighter, but when you watch what he can do, every punch available to him, you're really impressed with what you see. Timing, speed, everything. He's got the whole nine. You look across at Brian Norman Jr., very physically talented. I believe he's the bigger, stronger guy in this fight. He's actually got a little bit shorter, but he's got 1 more inch of reach. He's got a very good jab, very good lead hand altogether. We see the jab. We see how good he is with that left hook. He's very quick. Like, you look at his feet and the way he takes some angles. The question in my mind is going to be which Devin Haney shows up. That's going to be the key to this whole fight. Is this going to be the Devin Haney that we watched for years, boxing masterfully from the outside with the jab? Or is this going to be the Devin Haney that we saw in his last fight against Jose Ramirez? I'm not even going to bring up the fight against Ryan Garcia. Right? I think that was a unique one that stands on its own in the sense of who Devin Haney was and the way when he came into that fight and then dealing with the adversity that he dealt with while he was in there. So I'm more thinking about the Devin Haney that came into the Jose Ramirez fight, the guy who already suffered that defeat to Ryan Garcia, the guy who already got dropped multiple times and lit up with that left hook, the way that he mentally processed that and the way that he went into that Jose Ramirez fight. That's who I think is going to show himself in this fight with Brian Norman Jr. I think he works hard, he trains, he understands how to block that left hook probably better than he ever has. His technical skills and his ability and his quickness and everything that he does, it's off the charts in so many ways. But I think that when he gets in there against Brian Norman Jr., who has great timing, and I believe that great timing will show up. Timing beats speed. I think he's going to use that timing. He's going to use the physical abilities that he has. He's going to use those gifts. And even though Brian Norman Jr. is likely to lose more rounds, he's going to catch Devin Haney. First time isn't going to be clean. First time is going to be partially blocked. First time will just catch him a little bit, but it's going to be enough that Devin Haney is going to wake him up and he's going to realize what it is that's coming back at him and what that means. And I don't think that Devin Haney is going to handle the mental pressure well. I think that he's a guy that gets in his head. I think when he realizes what's going to happen if he goes out here and gets this loss, he understands how tough everybody was roasting him after that fight with Ryan Garcia. Absolutely roasting him. And yes, he went out there, and because of the positive drug test result that Ryan Garcia got, the fight got removed from his record and it doesn't come up as a loss. He still got the undefeated. He still went through that night, and everybody still saw what we saw. We all watched it. It happened. So you can take the loss away, but the tape still exists. That night still happened. It still exists in Devin Haney's mind, and the aftermath still exists when all of the things that people were saying to him. He's not stupid, man. He's just another human being like the rest of us. And he felt all of those feelings when everybody was all of a sudden jump ship and turn their back on him. And he can only imagine what it would be like should he come out here against Brian Norman Jr. And not only does he lose, not only does he get stopped, but he were to get stopped with a left hook. I mean, that would be his worst nightmare as far as dealing with the fans, PR, what his future looked like, all of those things. And as far as Brian Norman Jr. is concerned, I think he's just going to be able to show up. I think he'll just be able to bring it. Like I said, he may lose more rounds in this fight. There may be times when he looks a little bit outclassed. There may be times when Devin Haney is able to bounce around on the outside incredibly well, and Brian Norman Jr. isn't quite able to track him down, isn't quite able to cut the ring off like he wants. When he does get into some good ranges and situations, he finds himself in a clinch. He finds himself not able to land the way he wants because Devin Haney's defense holds up. All of those things are going to happen. Are you going to get frustrated by it, or are you going to continue to bring it? And I think Norman's going to continue to bring it. I think he'll continue to show up throughout this fight, and I think a time will come when he catches him and hurts him. So I think there's a very real possibility that Brian Norman Jr. gets the stoppage in this one, because once he connects, once he lands, I think he'll be able to go out there and continue to do damage, and I'm not sure that Devin Haney will be able to hold up to that in that type of a scenario. Other very realistic possibility is that Devin Haney does show up, man, and that he does figure out a way to return to the form that he had. And it's the best version of Devin Haney that we've not only seen, but that we can imagine. And if that guy shows up, yeah, he could end up winning the decision, 12-round decision. I don't see Brian Norman Jr. winning the decision, and I definitely do not see Devin Haney getting a stoppage. So those are really the two options that we're looking at here. And between those two, as realistic as it may be for Devin Haney to come out with a decision on this one, I got to make a pick, and I'm going with Brian Norman Jr. I think that Devin Haney's going to be, quote unquote, damaged goods. I hate to use that term, but a lot of people, you'll get what I mean. But after that fight with Ryan Garcia, I think that it's a mental thing. And we saw that in the way that he showed up against Jose Ramirez. We saw all the unnecessary movement. I think we saw some fidgeting. I think we saw him just not really 100% confident in himself, and the way in which he was moving around the ring and the way in which he was trying to avoid certain situations and positions. And Brian Norman Jr. will be able to take advantage of that Devin Haney in a way that Jose Ramirez didn't. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think Devin Haney, that he needed that Jose Ramirez fight to get underneath his belt to help him feel more comfortable, and now he's in a position when he's going to be able to show up and really bring it on this one? Or do you think that he's going to take a loss on this? Brian Norman Jr. is going to come out with the victory. He's going to look good when he does it. And then what's going to be next for Devin Haney when you think about where he was after those blowout dominant wins against Kambosos when he won the belt, and then to where he is today? Let me know what you guys think.